Hello, Year 5. We're on to lesson 11 of adding and subtracting. Now, today is the last lesson, where we're really going to be digging down into the process, how we would add and subtract using the column method. And then after this, we're really going to be experimenting with some numbers. I know that some of you are feeling confident with this already. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you're feeling confident, is stay with us for the in focus, because it's really talking about the language. I really want to go a bit deeper into the language that we use, and then you can move on and skip on to just doing your guided practice if you want to. If you're still not sure, stay with me for the Let's Learn and we'll talk it through so that you're feeling more confident. So I'm going to ask you to do something a little bit extra on this here. This says pick any two and talk about their prices. But actually what I want you to do today is we've noticed over the last couple of weeks that some of you are struggling a little bit or not completely sure on the language that we use for addition and subtraction. So we want to go over that as well today. So I'm incorporating that into what we're doing. So before you have a go at actually adding, what I'd like you to do, because we're thinking about adding, subtracting, so you don't need to think about multiplying and dividing at all, but I want you to think about the language that we might use for adding and subtracting. And I would like you to have a go at writing some questions, some of your own questions, using these. We've got cherries, sausages, yogurt, and eggs. And I want you to have a go at writing some questions using varied language. So I don't want constantly using the same language. What's this? Add this. I want you to think about all the vocabulary that you know that means add, and all the vocab you know that means subtract. And once you've had a go at writing some of those, you might write 3 for adding and 3 for subtracting. Then you can have a little go at working out the prices or the amounts. It says pick any two, but I know that some of you are feeling really confident. So you might actually have a go at doing more than 2. That's absolutely fine. So pause the video and have a go. If you are feeling a little bit unsure and you can't really remember the vocabulary, try a couple for yourself and then come back straight a bit quicker to the video, because we're going to talk through the language. Okay, so pause it now. Okay, so having a look at this here, I have put some language on here. Now, before we go any further, I want you to look really carefully at this page and see if you can spot the odd one out. There's a word on there that doesn't fit. Okay, hopefully you have spotted it. Is this one here. Difference does not fit on this page because all of the others mean adding and this one means subtract. So we don't want to use that one. We need to save that one for when we're thinking about subtracting. So let's just quickly talk through this vocabulary so that you are sure that you understand it. Okay, now I will let you into probably not a very little secret here, but I would really like to go out for dinner, and I expect some of you would, and I'm sure that some of your parents would as well. So if I were to go out for dinner, I might want to think about, oh, how much does my meal cost altogether? So hopefully I'm not going to have cherries to start and then sausages and then yogurt for pud. Hopefully it'll be a bit more exciting than that, but hey, you're going to be working with these prices. But I might go for dinner and I say, well, what would be the cost of my meal altogether? So what is the cost of my starter, my main and my dessert altogether? What is the total cost of my meal? So again, that's me thinking about adding all of my amounts together. How much would my starter plus my mains be? It's making me desperate to go out for dinner. What is the sum of, let's come back to this one now. What is the sum of the cherries and the sausages? I keep wanting to say strawberries for some reason. This one here, this is a little bit different because this is actually thinking about, we wouldn't necessarily be thinking about more than one product. We might just think about one product. So for instance, I go into the supermarket and there's a sign up and it says, oh, the price of our eggs, because eggs are very popular at the moment. They're selling out and we can't get them as quickly as we need to. The supermarket thinking, oh, I can make a buck here. So they say, oh, the price of our eggs have increased by 30 pence. So then I'm going to have the cost of my eggs plus 30 pence. So that might be where I use increase. The price of the eggs has increased by 30 pence. Okay, so if you want to, you can pause and have a go at writing some questions using that language there. Let's have a look at our vocabulary for subtracting them. Right, okay, so sorry, my kids are having a squabble in the background. That's helpful, isn't it? So we've got this word difference that we talked about. We said didn't fit on the other page. So for instance, I might say, what is the difference in the cost of the strawberries and the cherries? What's the difference between the cost of the two? So I need to subtract the cost of the cherries from the cost of the sausages, and that will help me that will tell me the difference in the cost. This one here, this is the opposite of increase, obviously. So I might say, oh, maybe the yogurt is close to its best before date, and the supermarket know that they need to sell it quickly before it goes off, and then they can't sell it. So it might be that that one is in the reduced section. And so there might be a sign that says, decrease the cost of the yogurt by 27 pence. So we know that we've got £2.95 and we have to take away 27 pence, £0.27. Deduct 27 pence from £2.95, right? So they're very similar, these two. How much less is the cost of the eggs than the cost of the sausages? All right, subtract, we know, minus is very similar. That one I should be saying really more than. So how much more is, so more and then than, how much more is the cost of the sausages than the yogurt? How much more than the sausages? The yogurt is the cost of the sausages. Okay. Right, so hopefully that has really got your brains buzzing and you're thinking a lot more about the language, because that's really, really important that you understand that language, and that because you may come across it in any walk of life. And obviously when we are actually coming back and we think, oh, let's figure out how much we remember, we might be giving you some questions that use that language as well. So you need to make sure that you know it. Okay, let's have a quick look then at our Let's Learn. So we've got question 1. Hannah picks some cherries and a yogurt and finds the sum. We know that means add. Okay, so we've got our add symbol here. Now, that question is asking us to add, but what might make this question more difficult to solve? It's the fact that we have got to regroup or rename. So let's have a look at what that actually means then. We've given you this because this is what it looks like with our place value counters. I haven't put what it would look like at the bottom. I want you to work that out. So we are looking to see what this means. And the reason why we constantly give you these pictures is because you need to understand what's going on with your numbers. It's really important. We didn't do this as much at school. We just looked at the numbers, and I think there's a lot of people, a lot of the older generation, who perhaps don't understand what was going on. They did it, they didn't really understand it, whereas we need you guys to actually understand, why are you moving numbers down here? We used to call it carrying, but obviously now we're talking about regrouping numbers, okay? So let's have a look at it. We have got nothing in the hundreds column for our first number, £3.70, and we've got 5 hundredths in £2.95. So if I've got nothing, add 5, I have got the answer of 5. I'm just going to quickly grab my pen. Right, okay, 7 add 9. So what I'm going to do then is I am going to look at what I need to do here. And what I'm actually doing is I'm saying, right, how many more am I going to add on to the 7 to make it up to the next 10, and how many have I got left over? So I'm basically moving these up here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 have moved into this section here, okay, which means that I've now got an extra 1s, right? I've got 10 tenths. So now I'm going to cross that off, and that becomes a 1. And then I've still got these tenths here. Now, I know that's quite confusing, but that's what we really, really need to be thinking about. I've moved those to make that 10 tenths, and that 10 tenths becomes 1. That's our renaming, our regrouping. That's what we call it, isn't it? And then I've got these tenths left over. So I've got 1 that I've regrouped to put it into the ones column. And I've got how many left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tenths left over. And then, and those of you who know 7, all of you know 7 add 9 is 16, isn't it? So there's my number 16. But that's what we're doing. That's what we're actually thinking about. That's why it looks like that. Right, decimal point there. And then I'm going to add up what I've got. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I look at it here, I've got 3 here, plus the 2, that's 5, plus 1 more is 6. So £6.65. So that's what we've done, is we're actually saying, right, that becomes 10 tenths. And so once I've got 10 tenths, I can regroup that, rename that, and make that one whole. And I have no more in this box here, but I mustn't forget these tenths here. Okay, right, we're going to have a little practice with that. So let's quickly do it here. Let's practice renaming then. So I've got, oh sorry, let's add sign there. 6 add 1, well that's 7. I haven't quite done this one right. Let's just change those numbers. Bear with me one moment, guys. Let's make that an 8. Okay, so I've got 6 add 1 is 7, 8 add 4. So I'm saying I need 2 more to go onto that to make it into one whole, and then I'm going to have 2 left over, aren't I? 4 take away 2 leaves me with 2, so I've got 2 left over. And then here I've regrouped, so I've got 1 extra here. 5 plus the 3 is 8, plus that 1 is 9. Okay, right, I'm going to rub that out because I do actually want to use that again when I do subtraction. Okay, let's quickly have a think about this number that we just worked with in our Let's Learn. Could we add these 2 numbers mentally? So without doing a written method, could we do it? And what could we do to make that easier? So if I were going to add those mentally, because it might be that maybe you go to the supermarket, you don't have your phone, you don't have anything to write on, and you have to do it mentally. You can, it's really easy. So just have a think, what could you do to make that easier for yourself? Okay, hopefully you've realised that £2.95 is very close to £3. It's only 5p less. So I could do £3.70 plus £3 is £6.70. What do I have to do at the end? I've got to take that 5 away, haven't I? I added 5 too many. I've got to take 5 away. Okay, sorry. Rowan, please can you go?
No, it's so good. I can't go
Rowan, please, I'm trying to do a video. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
thank you.
Sorry.
Dear me. So I had £3.70. At least that's livened up a maths lesson for you, hasn't it? You don't get that at school. £3.70 plus £3 is £6.70 minus 5 pence is going to be £6.65. That's what we've done, isn't it? Right, sorry, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to shut the door. I'm back, sorry kids. Okay, right. Let's have a look at this one then. So it's a different question now. So it says find the difference. So this time we are subtracting. Hannah picks some sausages and some eggs and finds the difference. We want to know the difference between the two. So we know we're going to need to do £4.5 minus £1.25. So how many methods could you use to answer this? Well, we could do a written method. We could do a mental method. So let's have a look at that. Here's our written method. We're going to follow that process. 5 take away 5 leaves me with nothing left. I haven't got anything once I've taken 5 away. Right, here, now we've got a problem here because I haven't got anything here. I can't take 2 away from nothing. So what do? what do? I need to exchange, don't I? I'm going to change that to 3 ones, and I'm going to bring over 10 tenths. Okay, so 10 tenths goes there now. So now I've got 10 take away 2, and I can easily do that. It is 80. Don't forget my decimal point. And then 3 take away 1 leaves me with 2, £2.80. Okay, let's have a look at that as a mental method then. All right, so we could do it like this. We could do £4.5, take away the 1, first of all, gives us £3.5. And then £3.5, take away 25 pence. Now, what I've done is I'm going to say, right, I can partition that. I know I've got £3.5. I could partition 25p into 5 pence and 20 pence. If I take the 5 pence away from here, I'm going to be left with £3. And then I need to take away another 20p. £3 minus 20p is going to be £2.80. So I get the same answer. Okay, this is all happening in my head. You might do a bit of jotting, but you should be able to do that in your head. Okay, have a little look at this one then. So this is basically what we just did, but I wanted to show you it with our place value counters. So here's what we did. We said 5 take away 5 is 0. Then we said, oh, I can't do 0 take away 2. So I'm going to need to pinch one of these from this column here, which is where I'm saying I'm no longer got 4. I've now only got 3. So I write my 3 above it. And then I move that and I convert it into tenths. We know that 1 whole is 10 tenths. So I've got 10 tenths there, which I put above here. Okay, 10 take away 2 is 8. And we know the answer to this. There's no secret. There we go, £2.80. Okay, right. So let's have a quick practice at one more of those. 6 take away 1 is 5. Some of you are making silly mistakes with your adding and your subtracting with these digits. You've got to check them. Right, 8 take away 4. Oh, look, I changed the number, look, didn't I? Let's change it back. I wanted that to be, oh, I'm going to make that a 1, I think. Okay, so, I can't do 1 take away 4. So I'm going to need to regroup. I'm going to change that to a 4, and I'm going to bring 10 tenths over. Now, last time I made that a 10 at the top, but that was because this digit was a 0. Now, this digit is a 1. So I need to convert that into 11. That 1 there is this one here. I've popped it into my number. So now my new number is 11 take away 4. Well, I know that 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 1 more is 11. So it's 7. And then 4 take away 3. It leaves me with £1.75. Okay. Right. Hopefully you've understood that. Okay, so this is your task for today. Guided practice. You're going to be having a go at doing that method that we've just done. So this is using exactly that method. 8 take away 2, 2 take away 4 I can't do. I'm going to need to regroup. What's that going to become? And what does my new number become? And don't forget your ones digits in this number here, it needs to be this digit here. Okay, right, okay, your workbook. Pages 21 to 22, and then your extensions, you've got some questions that you can have a go at. So have a look on the tapestry post. I think I'm going to have to go and sort my kids out, sorry. Have a look on the tapestry post. There's some questions and the answers are with it. And then Maths Teasers group, you have got one little question and then you've got some Maths Teasers questions as well. It's all there for you. And let us know if you need any help on tapestry. Okay, well done, guys, and I hope it goes well today.